listening to The Adventures of Maurez Shrouzberry, Professional Mouse Detective. Season 2, Episode 2, Part 1, The Midnight Librarian.
Shrouzberry pulled a book out of his bookshelf, and a concealed compartment popped out from behind the bar that led to the tunnels Shrouzberry and Chip were speaking of.
All right, you first.
There is no way in hell I'm going down there first, Shrouzberry.
Oh, for goodness sake, Twatson, take off the skirt. I'm the only one that knows how to close the hatch properly.
Shrouzberry, again, there is no way I'm going down there. Shrouzberry! Shrouzberry! Open this hatch immediately!
You didn't say, Mother, may I? I told you, Twatson, I'm the only one that knows how to close the hatch. I never said anything about going in with you. Oh, you sad sack of cat piss, Twatson.
Open this hatch!
Oh, say putty please.
Shrouzberry, stop being a fool! The Minister could be here at any moment, and you're fooling around!
Twatson was quite right. The Ministry was well on their way to Shrouzberry's hole. Maple coyly peeked out the window. He could see the glow of the Ministry's lanterns from far down the street.
Ah, perfect timing, Twatson. Here they come.
Maurez grabbed a lantern that was now accessible thanks to the melting ice. He lit a match on his grungy fingernails and lit the lantern.
All right, Twatson, I'm coming down.
Shrouzberry grabbed the hatch door and closed the bar behind him. Maisto Mouse walked up the snowy steps to Shrouzberry's hole, cracked the whole door open, and Maisto Mouse proceeded to walk inside with his henchmice.
Search the entire hole. I mean vulva, labia, and libra.
Yes, sir.
Maisto walked into the study where the two detectives were just moments ago and saw the snow partially pushed back by the bar area.
Oh, Maple, you must keep your secrets more safe.
Maisto then looked about the room, saw the globe that was kicked by Twatson into the puddle, and in the remainder of snow that was still melting by the bookshelves and bar, he could see footprints. Maisto investigated first the books on the shelves in front of the footprints.
Let's see. Which one could it be?
Secondly, Maisto observed the finely packed snow that lined the bookshelf. Maisto slid his leather-gloved index finger across the bookshelf, knocking the perfect snow to the ground. He stopped once his finger met a previous break in the snow.
Hello, darling.
Maisto pulled at the book. In that instant, the bar popped open.
Have a baby.
As Maisto and his henchmice were searching Shrouzberry's hole, Detective Shrouzberry and Twatson zigged and zagged through the elaborate labyrinth of tunnels, as if designed by Daedalus himself. Shrouzberry knew every nook and cranny of the tunnel system, having used them many times in the past, and with some help from his friends in the House of Chip.
Right up this way.
Right, as if you actually know where you're going.
Not to worry, old sport. I know this maze like the back of a whore's ass.
I wonder who built these tunnels?
It's funny you'd ask, for no mouse really knows. When I was younger, I heard tales that there was an elaborate tunnel system that stretched the entirety of Sugarloaf. And that was enough to pique my interest to try to seek them out for myself. Not to worry though, Twatson, because I can assure you I am one of the very few in Sugarloaf who know these tunnels even exist. You'll meet the others soon.
Oh, I certainly hope so, Maple. It is so dreadfully cold.
That means we're getting close.
Back at Shrouzberry's hole, Maisto rallies his henchmice together.
Well, it seems as if Shrouzberry and Twatson were both here, yet must have moved on. Shame. You stay here with me, and the rest of you make haste back to our headquarters, the grandfather clock.
The henchmice dispersed out of Shrouzberry's hole.
Don't you think it'd be better if there were more of us to search the area, sire?
We have no need to search the area, my young boy, because I know where they've gone.
Maisto swings open the bar, exposing the escape hatch to the tunnel system.
By Gouda, nothing gets past you, Minister Maisto!
Oh, no. Not much does get past me, no. Not even your lack of dues last month.
Sire, I can explain!
Never mind that now. Après-vous.
What?
It means after you.
But sire, I have no idea how to navigate these tunnels.
You are clever enough to elude your fellow henchmice. Perhaps you'll be clever enough to find your way through that maze. Whatever you find, make sure to bring it back to me. If you find anyone down there, bring them to me, dead or alive. Understand?
Yes, sire.
Meanwhile, Shrouzberry and Twatson stop at a brick wall in the labyrinth. Shrouzberry presses one of the bricks on the wall. It popped out slightly, and as Shrouzberry turned the brick, the wall pushed back to reveal a door. Shrouzberry closes the brick wall behind him and opens the door. The two detectives tiptoed their tiny mouse tootsies into a dark room.
Not another inch, unless you want to redecorate my walls with your brains.
It is by those who have suffered that the world is most advanced.
Maurez? Could that really be you?
I didn't believe it at first either, old sport.
The entity in the darkness placed down his gun and walked over toward Shrouzberry with a limp and a cane. Shrouzberry raised his lamp and saw his old friend, the Midnight Librarian. For the first time in well over a decade, his fur was so pale yellow it was almost completely white. His eye whiskers so thick and bushy you could barely see his eyeballs. Tiny dentist-style glasses with multiple lenses sat upon his pink nose. He did age much more than Shrouzberry. Maple was a bit shocked. Shrouzberry's old friend raised his arms quickly to his sides and said,
Well, what do you think? Not bad for 99 years old.
Holy Holy shit! You're 99 years old?
That's right, 99 years young, gonna be 100 in December. Please have a seat on that pile of books over there. I think there used to be a chair there.
Why are you naked?
Oh, mice in clothes just seems unnatural to me.
Fair enough, old friend.
So, I guess I'll just ask, what's with the cloud?
It appeared after my resurrection.
Oh, resurrection. Are you the son of Gouda now, too?
Oh, nothing like that. Just a disciple of the truth. And I must say, time is a wicked mistress. You can barely walk, old friend.
Oh, no, I get around fine. It just takes me some time. So tell me what magic kept you so well preserved. And, would you and your friend like some tea?
No tea, and no magic. Just being frozen in ice for 15 years in my hole.
Oh, so that's where you'd gone to, frozen in ice. Has it been 15 years already? Oh my, well, I like to keep it chilly in here too. I feel like it keeps me young and virile. Who knows, maybe I'm onto something.
I'll take some tea, please.
Oh, of course, I like him.
What did you think happened to me?
To be honest, I thought you went crazy and got out of Sugarloaf while you still could. Something so tragic like that happens to a mensch. You expect them to go a little mad.
The Midnight Librarian begins to fix a pot of tea for Twatson.
I figured you decided not to tell me about it, so I couldn't write about what happened to you in the biography I wrote.
You wrote a biography about me?
Well, of course. Best detective of our time mysteriously disappears. I'd be doing you a disservice if I did.
Whatever happened to it?
Oh, I still have it. Once the ministry took over, I made plans to release the book to try and get mice and Sugarloaf to believe in true justice again. To bring back some sort of civility to the government. Once my book was made known to the ministry, they simply would not have it. They blackballed me. Nobody would publish it, so I decided to keep it to myself.
Oh, well, I would truly love to read it.
No need for that.
Oh, why not?
Because that is all in the past, and we have a case to solve, Twatson.
Well, perhaps next time. Here's your tea, young mouse.
As the Midnight Librarian brought over Twatson's tea, his cock and ball bag were bouncing so close to the teacup, which was filled to the brim with scalding hot tea, causing to spill a little on the Midnight Librarian's genitals due to his shaky paws. This, however, had no effect on the Midnight Librarian, whose hole was so cold he no longer had a feeling in any of his nerves. Seeing that this disturbed Twatson's conservative nature, Shrouzberry chuckled and suggested,
Would you mind, putting something on, dear friend? I believe your pecker is distracting Twatson.
Oh, not a problem, dear boy. It's just in the next room.
Thank you. So, what is it that you've been doing all this time?
Well, I barely get out into the city anymore, as I'm sure you could tell. Since I live on the edge of old Sugarloaf, it's exceptionally cold, which I do enjoy. It's secluded and quiet, which I also enjoy. When I do go to the city, it's only to pick up the essentials. You know, cheese, milk, and honey.
Do you still make your runs to the library?
Oh, no. I haven't had the need to.
Why not?
Because I brought it all here.
The Midnight Librarian took a sip of his tea and walked to a hole door and slowly opened it. To the amazement of the two detectives, a huge room covered in books, some stacked from the floor to the ceiling on large bookshelves that covered the walls of the room.
You did it! You actually did it, you mad mouse!
I figured I'd better get it done while I still had the ability to walk without assistance. So any book in particular you're interested in?
I'm looking for old maps of the city, street layouts, tunnel systems, the works.
The Midnight Librarian put on his robe and looked over to a table which had some books on it. He adjusted his tiny dentist-style glasses and pushed down 2 of his lenses and read aloud.
The truth behind Canaanite culture.
He flipped another 2 lenses down on his glasses.
The head god, personified as El, was actually the building block for the Hebrew Elohim, Jah, Yahweh. No, this couldn't possibly be what you need.
No, I'm looking for an old map of the city, old friend. Not the Canaanite creation story.
Oh, yes, that's right. Let me just get my magnifying glass for that.
The Midnight Librarian looked to his left, then to his right, and then turned himself around as quickly as his old bones would allow, and grabbed the enchanted magnifying glass of Veritas that was on his table behind him, on top of a pile of old books on the cannibalistic tribes of the Amazon. The legend of the enchanted magnifying glass of Veritas that Maple knew of was one of granting its owner the ability to find anything the owner were looking for while gazing through its lenses, and when asked to seek out truth, it shall guide its owner to the source.
My dear mouse, you still have it. By Kuda himself, you still have it.
Yes, I still have it. Why would I ever get rid of it? It's the enchanted magnifying glass of Veritas. Super reliable, extremely fragile, and oh yeah, is the only one in existence, and that's why it doesn't leave this room.
Enchanted magnifying glass of Veritas? You fooled me before, Shrouzberry.
Oh, and I will again, old mouse. Yet not about this magnifying glass.
The Midnight Librarian held the magnifying glass up to his eye and said,
Find me the old maps of Sugarloaf.
The Midnight Librarian looked around the room through the enchanted magnifying glass of Veritas and saw a trail begin to pan out. A trail made out of purple and pink ether that could only be seen through the magnifying glass and by its owner. The old mouse followed the trail and retrieved the maps for the detectives.
Oh, here it is.
That was absolutely amazing.
What? You act like you've never seen an enchanted magnifying glass before.
He's new to this, and to be honest, a bit slow.
What?
Aw, sweet boy. Well, if there isn't anything else I can do for you, please come back and don't be a stranger.
I'm sure I'll be seeing you again soon, dear friend.
The 2 detectives left the Midnight Librarian's home. The librarian locks all the locks on the door and walks back into his library, turns on a bottle cap record player, and listens to an old familiar tune. As he strips nude and sits down to light his pipe, he hears a knocking at the back hole door leading into the tunnels.
Open it up! Open up this door! Open up! Open up right now!
You've been listening to The Adventures of Maurez Shrouzberry, professional mouse detective.
Open it up!
The voice of the Midnight Librarian was played by Alexander GRIPPO.
Open up this door!
The voice of HENHMOUSE #1 was played by GHAZAII.
Open up this fucking door!
While other voices were played by Reese Van Riper. This has been a Watson Run Recording House production.